Hi, everyone, and welcome. We have such an important show for you today. Could this be the most dangerous place in your house? Are you unknowingly putting yourself and your loved ones at risk simply by having these in your home? These are prescription painkillers. They're often prescribed after you have surgery, have a tooth pulled, or after an injury like a herniated disc. But what is initially given to alleviate pain can turn into a deadly addiction. Drug overdoses now kill more people in this country than car accidents, and 60% of all of those are caused by the abuse of pharmaceutical medications. The vast majority of those are classified as opioids, painkillers like Vicodin, Percocet, and OxyContin. The CDC calls this an epidemic, especially among women. Here's a look at the numbers. 48,000 women died between 1999 and 2010, representing a staggering 400% increase in deaths. And every 3 minutes, another woman goes to the emergency room. Melissa Peabody from Eastford, Connecticut could have been another statistic. Her addiction to prescription painkillers nearly cost her everything. And that's why her story is part of today's big conversation.
My name's Melissa. I'm 35 years old. I started my own catering business. I love to cook. I have 2 daughters. My oldest is Mackenzie, and my youngest is Ella. She'll be 5 at the end of May. I love my kids, all my heart. I had a major surgery back in 2011, and from that I was diagnosed with ulcers. They were handing me pain meds. I've never had OxyContin before, and very quickly I got addicted to them. My personality changed. I could talk to anybody. I felt like I was the life of the party. I started asking my doctors for more than what they were prescribing me. I lied about losing them. I was going to other doctors, and I was also buying them off the street. I was just eating them like Tic Tacs. It consumed my life. I started making bad decisions. I used to have nice clothes and shoes. Sold it all, pretty much. I stole from a couple friends. I did a lot of rotten things, and I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. I lost the person that I used to be. My lowest point where I hit rock bottom was July 14th of 2013. I had stayed up with a friend all night long. We were popping pills. And I woke up and my daughter wasn't there. I had fallen asleep. But the first thought in my mind was that I had failed. I failed at being a mother. And I can't keep living my life like this.
Please welcome Melissa Peabody. Melissa, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Tough to watch. Must bring back some pretty terrifying memories, particularly as we just heard, you woke up and your 4-year-old daughter, Ella, was nowhere to be found. What had happened to her?
My boyfriend at the time knew I was struggling with my addiction, and he was concerned that morning, so instantly when he left for work, he had called a family member to come pick her up.
And to take her out of the
safe,
house.
right. So to make sure that she was safe.
In retrospect, that was probably a good idea, wasn't it?
Very good idea. That was my wake-up call.
Let's go back to how this all started. When you were given these painkillers, did anyone, a doctor, nurse, say to you, hey, listen, these can be highly addictive. You need to be really careful about taking them?
I mean, you grow up knowing what you shouldn't take or what's illegal, all the bad things, but you're not thinking. I had no doctors or anybody telling me the warning signs or like what could happen.
So you started taking them, and when did you start feeling like this isn't just alleviating pain, I have to have these, I need them to function?
It started probably about 6 months after I started being prescribed them, that I started feeling a dependency for them.
You're from a small town in Connecticut. How easy, is it to get a hold of these pills?
It's a lot easier to find than you would find weed or any other drug. It was the easiest to come by.
And how much did these pills cost? I know they're very expensive. So to maintain this habit, it must have taken you, cost a lot of money.
Anywhere from $10 to $50, depending on what the strength was. I was stealing. Like I said, I sold pretty much everything that I had.
Did you have two voices saying, I have to have this, I can't believe I'm doing this to get these pills?
I never thought I would be saying something like that. I have priorities, like my 2 daughters are my priority. I never thought I would get to that point of having to sell things.
So you were just so desperate.
Very, very, very desperate.
I know this past summer you finally entered a day treatment program in your community, and you've been able to stay sober with medically assisted treatment. What is that exactly?
It's Suboxone. I know people will have their different feelings on it. A lot of people are saying that I went from one drug to another, but I did all my research on it, and if it wasn't for that medication, the alternative, I don't know where I'd be right now.
This addiction doesn't just affect women. A firefighter named Paul Tilton from Oakland, California, also became addicted to opiates after being prescribed painkillers following a work-related injury. And what happened to you?
In 2011 also, I was hit in the face by a nozzle on a fire, and I herniated 2 discs in my neck. And the initial workman's comp doctor prescribed me Norco, and 2 or 3 a day, and I started getting really bad headaches. And I went to a neurologist, and he said, oh, you're a paramedic. I'll give you IV Demerol, which is similar to morphine, and you can start an IV on yourself. And when I would get these headaches, I would lay on the couch and sometimes push up to 1,000 milligrams of Demerol a day. And the headaches just kept getting worse until by last year when I went into my first rehab, I was taking 20 Norco a day and up to 40 shots of Demerol a month.
How did these drugs make you feel? Why did you crave them so much?
Initially, it was for the pain. And then after that, it becomes emotional. And part of it is the need to feel good, and part of it is the fear of going into withdrawals.
This, I know, cost you a lot financially. It cost you a lot personally. Your habit started being a $400 a day addiction. You ended up getting divorced.
Yeah, I was up to $400 a day. I have a lot of credit card debt now. I lost my house. More importantly, I lost my wife. And I've lost everything other than my job, which I'm very grateful for.
What did you finally do to get off these pills?
I've been to 3 different rehabs over the last year, and I learned a little bit from each one of them, but Suboxone was also, Suboxone can be an abused drug, but if you're ready to quit opiates, it is a good answer.
And ultimately, they're going to get you both off that drug.
Yes.
Eventually, it's sort of a gateway drug to sobriety.
Yes.
Absolutely. I consider it like a crutch because there is still a lot of work that you have to do along with it.
You guys are 2 normal people, right? And what would you say to people watching this about the dangers of prescription medications and these kinds of painkillers, Melissa?
It's absolutely no way to live. It's an evil, evil thing. And if you have the chance and if you're embarrassed, you kind of have to swallow your pride if you really want it. Save your life and do ask for help.
And how do you get people from not starting to take these drugs to begin with, or taking them responsibly, Paul?
I don't know how we do it responsibly. I think certain people are prone to addiction, unfortunately. And I just want to say that opiates are the most powerful thing I've ever been around. Still to this day, I have to keep all my goals right in front of me. And just if you are addicted to them, don't give up. It took me 3 rehabs and about 8 different psychiatrists. You'll get there.
You feel like you're on the road. Well, we wish you all the best, Paula and Melissa, as you continue to forge this new path forward. Thank you both for talking to us, because it's such an important issue, and it's so important that people are honest about the power of these particular medications.